welcome back to the TBR Book channel. I'm Sophia, and welcome to the first appearance of the Garden TBR. Now, the Garden TBR is a game heavily inspired by Becca's Bookopoli. I DM'd her, and she was kind enough to actually give me permission to use her game as inspiration. The game is fairly similar to a Monopoly board. It's not a Monopoly board, but it's heavily inspired on that. It's also played with dice, and I'm using most of the rules that Becca uses in her Bokopoly. So if I roll double, I will have to add one more thing to one more roll to my total of rolls. I am also probably keeping the punishments. I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna do on that, but given that I'm changing games, I will keep September as a free month of punishments. And well, I will explain to you in detail the board itself, the houses on the board, the rules of that, and then we will start on our rolls. Okay, so welcome to the board of TBR Garden, and I actually took inspiration from Becca's Bookopoli. I DM'd her on Twitter yesterday, and she was really nice. She answered me right away, and I asked her for permission to use the idea of a board game like Monopoly, which is kind of what I'm doing here. And she said, whatever. She didn't say whatever. Okay, she was actually pretty sweet. She said, of course you can. I can't wait to see it, and I need to send her pictures of the completed board because I haven't sent her yet. So welcome to the TBR Garden. This little Ravenclaw emblem will be my pawn in the board game. I thought because I'm a Ravenclaw, it would be fitting. It's actually really beautiful. It was part of a necklace and the chain broke, so I only have this little one. And going for first coloring things and then the other board things. First of all, in the purple, we have series or the state of a book. Let's say it like that. We first have standalone here, which means I have to pick a standalone book and then a sequel and then a new series. Pretty self-explanatory. If I roll a number and get on one of those, I need to pick either a standalone, a sequel, or a new series. Going for the yellow, we have beautiful cover and not so great cover. So you don't have, or you shouldn't, judge a book by its cover, but we all do, and we all have those beautiful cover buys and those books that we really like the concept, but the cover is ugly as all hell. So if I land on one of those houses, I will have to pick either a beautiful cover or a not so great cover. Going for the little aqua blue part of the board, we have first most recent purchase, which again, it's pretty self-explanatory. If I land there, I will have to check what my most recent purchase is. And then we have audiobook, for me to choose an audiobook, TBR vet, and a little drawing of what I tried to make an old man. It means an older book in my shelves, an ebook, which again, self-explanatory, a new release, or a recommended book. On Cody's server, for example, we have recommendations based on our likes and everything. So we just kind of choose books that have been recommended to me from there or from conversations with people or anything. Going for the orange, we have age audience, age target. We have a middle grade, a YA, and an adult. Pretty self-explanatory. On the gray, we have kind of like random things, we have a new author and a favorite author. And then we have a booktube steal. A booktube steal means I will have to look on booktube and find out a TBR from someone, and I will have to steal a book from their TBR. And this prompt was actually inspired by a prompt we had, I believe, in, I think it was the Mistake Make Your Mistaker readathon. And if you were like a thief, or if you were trying for a thief, you had to steal a book from someone else's TBR, and I really like that idea. So that's why I put the booktube steal. Then on the bluish gray type of boards, we have genres. So we have fantasy and sci-fi, nonfiction, contemporary, horror, mystery, thriller, my seasonal TBR, which is kind of a new thing, historical fiction, and smut. And then we have like some other random things, houses that go from there. So basically what you do with the board is you go through here, 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 and then you go back to the top. So the first house, which is the go house, which is where I will start, here, it's my initial house, and if I'm not there, like, obviously I'm starting there, so I won't do anything, but if I land there from here on out, I will have to randomize my TBR and choose one. Like, I'll have a number generator, I will pick 3 or 4 numbers, and I will choose one of those 3 or 4 books from my Goodreads TBR. Next, we have our community pick, and I will obviously take a chance to talk about the chance cards. And the community picks are just these little papers, and they are other prompts, like more specific prompts that I thought they would be fun enough to have, but not big enough to be like a house on the board. And then we have the chance cards. The chance cards, I'm using the same rules as Becca, and I have 3 books that I really want to read, 3 books that I'm not that wanting to read them right now, and I have a chance. So when I pick either the chance cards or the community pick cards, I will shuffle them before, because obviously I just wrote them so I know what's in them. So I'll just shuffle them every time I have to get one. So here we have a short read, which means a book under 150 pages. 5-star prediction, self-explanatory, I need to pick a 5-star prediction. TBR game, that means I will have to search for TBR game, and I will have to pick one of the books from those TBRs. And I am looking for something like Gavin's Game, which is the cards game, or Cody's Wheel of TBR, Becca's Bookopoly, JD Ray reads her TBR Pursuit, stuff like that. Fun TBR games. I will just watch the video and I will steal one from them, basically. Then we have graphic trade here, because I don't usually read mangas or graphic novels. I want to do that more, so it has its own house. Social media poll, I will choose a social media like Discord, Instagram, Twitter, or even Reddit, and choose some books, and I will post a poll and then put the results in. Lowest rated means I will have to sort my Goodreads TBR from lowest to highest and choose one of the first books. Big book, a book over 500 pages. Highest rated, same thing as lowest rated, but obviously I will make my TBR from highest to lowest and then choose one of the first books. And then I have pet pick because I have done this I think twice now, and it's pretty fun making my pet pick a book for me. And then I have friend pick, which means I will text a friend, show them like 2 or 3 books, and they will choose for me basically. So, with all that explained, some of the rules, well, all of the rules actually. For now, I will not be transitioning punishments from last month's book list because it's a new game and all. But there will be punishments. Again, same rules apply as the TBR jar. If I don't finish 2 or more prompts, I will have to add 1 for every 2 prompts not finished. Same as Becca, I have 2 6-sided dice, and if I roll a double, I will have to add 1 more. So, roll number 1, and let's see what the hell we get. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not so great cover. So, roll number 1 was a not so great cover, and for this, I chose Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. This is a book about a society that grooms girls to be either moms or governesses, like to make a man's estate look good. The Portuguese cover of the book is beautiful. And honestly, I have to thank AGEM Book Gang for the highly, highly, highly recommended book that this one is. In Portuguese, the translation is Eve's Daughters, which I was really, really, really fumbled on the whole thing when I was looking for the book in English. And when I saw the English cover, that cover sucks. I will put the English cover here and the Portuguese cover here so you can see both. I personally prefer the Portuguese cover way, 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 way better than the English cover. But the content of the book actually calls to me a lot. So this will be my first book. Rule number 2. Oh, okay, so we have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Recommended. Rule number 2, we had a recommended. And for that, I need to choose a book that was recommended to me. And I have put this book on my TBR twice, I believe, in the past year, and I haven't gotten to it either time, but I am trying to go through it now, and it is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabata here. This is a book about a scholar and a military officer, and they kind of somehow get together and try to overthrow a country or like a regime. And I know the fourth book is coming out later this year, so maybe I should start reading this and, advancing on that sort of thing. Okay, so this is roll number 3, and we have a 5, and I don't think you guys can see it well, but it's a 5, and it was a 2 here. So there's 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. New author. Rule number 3 took us to a new author, and for this, and to make sure my TBR doesn't get bigger than it should, I actually selected a manga, and I selected Death Note Volume 1 by Tsugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata, and this is the story about a guy named Light Yagami, and he finds a black notebook on the street, I think, and he reads the notebook, and there's like some rules at the beginning, and it's called Death Note, and one of the rules is when you write someone's name, they will die in the span of 30 seconds. And if you don't specify the way you want them to die, they will just die of a heart attack, something like that. And he gets to know his little Shinigami friend, which I can't remember the name, but he really likes apples. That's something I remember. Now, I've never seen the anime and I have never read the manga, though I do have it, as you can clearly see, because I found it for like €1 at a used bookstore. And I was like, it's a manga! Oh my god, I must get it. And I got it. So it's short enough, it's manga, so most of it it's images, and it's something I can read in like 30 minutes. So easy enough to read, and if you guys don't know, you read manga from right to left instead of left to right as you usually do. So it's right, left, and down. So you usually go like this. There are some trickier passages. So, for example, in this one, you read this one, and this one, and then you go here, here, and here, like this. So, yeah, but usually when you open, at least mind you, I don't think all of them do, but when you open a manga, if you're opening it like a normal book, uh, this one says, hey, you're reading in the wrong direction. Here's how you read manga. And then it teaches you. It has like the numbers and the squares so you can actually learn how to read manga. And I think my Shonen Jump and Shoujo Beat ones have this, but the other one doesn't. So be careful when you get manga and check this out first if you're new to it and you're not so sure how to read a manga. Rule number 4. Oh, okay. This is like a dice from Pictionary, and I'm gonna consider this a 1. Okay, so this is a 1, and the other one is a 5. So we have a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fantasy. Rule number 4 took us to my favorite genre, which is fantasy, and for that, I chose Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Young. I read the first one for the Half Blood Book Club. I can't remember when. I believe it was in the beginning of the year, like February or something. And I liked it. It was fun. This one has LGBTQ plus rep in it. It's a sapphic romance. I think that's what people are calling them now. Basically has a girl on girl relationship. And the first one is called Girls of Paper and Fire, and basically it's about a bunch of girls from Paper Case, which is like the lowest of the lowest case, being groomed to be the emperor's concubines. And it starts following our main character's resentment towards this sort of thing, and yeah, it goes from there. It ended on a pretty kind of stupid in my opinion ending, but I really want to read the continuation and see where the hell we're getting at, and I'm actually excited for it. Rule number 5. Ooh, oh no, a double. So this means I will have 8 prompts. So a double, and it was a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I will have to randomize my TBR. Rule number 5 was a double, which meant that my 7 prompts passed to 8 prompts. And for this, I got a randomize your TBR. So I randomized my TBR. The number I got was 48, and I ordered my Goodreads TBR from date added, so it wouldn't just be like good books at the top and lousy books at the bottom. The number I got was 48, and while I was counting down, the book I got was Loop by Ben Oliver, and from what I got from this book, we're basically in a prison and they kind of have to work their way out. It got me Black Mirror vibes episode 2, season 1. So it kind of piqued my interest, and I'm hoping it will be something fun and a little bit different to read. Rule number 6. Oh, I can't believe it! It's another double! That means 9 prompts. 1, 2. A sequel. So, 1 double is like rare. 2 doubles is even rarer. 2 doubles in a row, it can only happen to me. So our rule number 6 was a double as well. And the prompt we got was sequel. So I chose Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. It's the third and final book in the Folkavere series. I know there's a 3.5 book. I'm not so sure if they will continue. From what I got, Queen of Nothing was the last book chosen, like written for that trilogy, and we're following Jude Duarte, and she is half human, half elf. And well, no, she's human. Yeah, she's entirely human. Her and her twin sister are human. They have an older sister which is elf, and yeah, basically she goes to school with Carden, and Carden is a horrible, horrible, horrible bitch to her. And stuff goes from there when there are some plans on assassinating the current king of Fae. So yeah, I read books 1 and 2. I liked them. I like the second one slightly more than the first one because of the politic intrigues that happen in the second one. So I'm kind of hoping the third one will continue more on that political side and less on the romance side, because the romance relationships in this book are horribly written. I hate it, and everyone loves them, and I can't agree with that. It's just not my thing. So this will be my sequel. Hopefully I will get to it and actually finish it. It will be one of my 2020 books / series that I want to read. So yay! Rule number 7. It's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Audiobook. Rule number 7, which was supposed to be my last rule, I got an audiobook, and for that I'm actually going with Sapiens by Yuval Harari. Yeah, Yuval Harari. And this is a book on the evolution of the human being, not as a biological point of view or an anthropologist's point of view, but as a mind point of view. And I've been meaning to read a book of his like for a long time. I do want to get his books as a physical copy, but I need to find them and at a good price, and that's probably gonna be my next purchase. So he has 3 of them. There's Sapiens, Homo Deus, and the most important questions of the 21st century. They're like a trilogy, so you have past, present, and future, and they're all in the mind point, psychological point of the human evolution. And given that I'm really, really interested in the human evolution, I really, really want to see it from a different angle than we usually see in evolutionary books. Rule number 8. Okay, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A middle grade. Rule number 8 got me a middle grade, and for this one I actually chose Keeper of the Lost Cities Exile, and this is book number 2 in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. There's 8 of them out. There's a ninth one coming, I believe, mid next year, I think. But I have 7 other books to read, and the books are huge. So that gives me some time to actually catch up. We're following Sophie, and she discovers that she has some Fey heritage and that she is a telepath. So she can read others' minds. And she is swooped away to this kind of Fey country city thing and brought to a school. It has major Harry Potter vibes, like the first 2, 3 books, and it's so good. I loved the first one. I can't wait to pick up the second one and the rest of the series. Rule number 9, and the last rule, I hope. Yes, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, a social media poll. Rule 9 and my final row was actually a social media poll. Now, this time I did not go for like Twitter, Instagram, or anything. I just picked up a bunch of titles and basically I quizzed some of my friends like, hey, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Choose one of the 4. And the one that I got most votes was actually Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Sky. But I'm using that for armor fitting. So the second most voted was Cress by Marissa Meyer. It's book number 3 in the Lunar Chronicles. We're following the equivalent of Rapunzel, if I'm not mistaken, and we are following Cinder and Scarlet after their whole ordeal, and we now have Rapunzel joining the group, and I know book number 4 has Snow White joining the group, but it's basically a fairy tale retelling with kind of cyborgs and mechas and spaceships and such. It's a pretty good book. I liked the first one more than I liked the second one, because the second one was more romance stirred than I usually like. So there's always that. But I really want to finish the series. This is one of those iconic YA series that everyone and their mother has read at some point. And it's about time I joined the bandwagon, let's be honest. So our role number 9 is going to be Cress. Okay, so roll number 10, and I know I didn't roll for this, but this is actually an extra book that I'm adding between this month and the next month. This book was lent to me, and I'm actually really curious. It's called A Canticle for Leibowitz by Walter M. Miller Jr., and from what I was told, it's basically an ancient society that has lost their gathered knowledge. Like, they just kind of lost it and they need to get it back. In the back says, after the fall, the rebirth. In the depths of the Utah desert, long after the flame deluge has covered the earth clean, a monk of the Order of St. Leibowitz has made a miraculous discovery, holy relics from the life of the great saint himself, including the blessed blueprint, the sacred shopping list, and the hallowed shrine of the Fallout shelter. In a terrifying age of darkness and decay, these artifacts could be the keys to man's salvation. But as the mystery at the core of this groundbreaking novel unfolds, it is search itself, for meaning, for truth, for love, that offers hopes for humanity's rebirth from the ashes. So, I know Leibowitz was a scientist. I am not so sure. I think he was a physicist. But it sounds similar to The Rule of 4 that I read some time ago, and it kind of sounds similar to The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. So I'm excited to read this, and I'm actually not constraining this to September. I will read it. I will start reading it as soon as I can. And yeah, so this one is the last book for our month of September. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little TBR game. If you have any suggestions for my chance cards, it would be great to have some suggestions of yours to add in there. Leave them down below. If you have some suggestions to the community pick cards, leave them down below again. I think it would be really great to have your input in this game. And if you guys want a so says on any of these books, again, leave them down below. Say, so if I want some of this, and I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. Uh, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really did. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.